Welcome back. I'm Dylan Black. Let's talk about the success of Crime Stoppers Month in January, which just passed, of course. With us right now, we have the president of Crime Stoppers here in the nation's capital, Richard McMullen. Good to see you again, Richard.
Good to be here. Thanks for having us.
Anytime. And Elizabeth Callahan as well, youth advisor with Crime Stoppers. Hello, Elizabeth. It's good to have you on the show here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Richard, how long have you been president, by the way?
So this is 5 years of sort of 6-year mandate, and I'm happy to take that role.
Well, I know you're doing a good job in our community and crime. So Crime Stoppers Month happened in January. First of all, how long has Crime Stoppers been around, this organization?
So in this city, we've been an active participant since 1985. There's 38 different programs across the province, and it's an international sort of crime fighting tool that law enforcement use for obvious purposes.
Okay. And Elizabeth, to be a youth advisor, what does that mean exactly?
So I am part of the board as well. So I take ideas that the board wants to the youth committee, and I help organize youth board meetings. So our youth volunteers have a say that way, and I take what the youth want and bring it to the board. And if the youth have different ideas, we did a mission trip, or a trip to the mission to help prepare food for the homeless shelter, and that was their idea. So they wanted to do that, so we took it to the board and got approval and did that. So we just do different ideas like that, and make sure that there's communication between the youth volunteers and then the board.
Very good. Okay, so Richard, let's talk about the month of January then. What does it mean to be Crime Stoppers Month?
So one of the things that we try to encourage is to raise awareness in the public through media exposures like this and through a variety of other means. We had our team of volunteers out at different community events, at shopping malls with information tables, participating and raising awareness about anonymous reporting a crime.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, so we're even into the month of December, unless the Grinch lasted into January. There he is. So you guys were out and about in the community, obviously, spreading the word of Crime Stoppers, and there's some of our youth. Elizabeth, what you were mentioning before, do you find being a youth advisor and obviously everything you were mentioning, has it helped get youth involved in this even more?
I think so. I think our youth committee, our youth volunteers are amazing. We constantly have more wanting to come out and do different activities, and I find that our chapter especially has a very good volunteer or a youth volunteer base.
Very important. Mm-hmm. Richard, how exactly does Crime Stoppers work?
So Crime Stoppers is an anonymous reporting tool that the public can use safely for a variety of reasons. Some folks may be reluctant to come forward. Maybe it's a fear of reprisal, maybe it's apathy. They just don't want to get involved. They don't want to testify in court. Crime Stoppers takes all of those barriers away. So you can submit a tip, and maybe that tip is a little small piece of a puzzle that can help law enforcement solve, resolve, and in some cases prevent crimes before they occur. So we know it's successful. We know that it has a great impact. And we know that there's an ever demanding need for anonymous reporting and for the public to come out safely and support their police and their communities.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you always looking for volunteers to be a part of Crime Stoppers?
Yeah, we do. You know, as Elizabeth mentioned, we've got a pretty strong and dynamic youth volunteer, and they're out in the community presenting different information to vulnerable sectors, to every other type of community, and it's nice to see young people engaged in those types of activities, and it's very effective.
How long have you been a youth advisor, Elizabeth, at this point?
So just this summer I was appointed youth advisor, but I've been doing volunteer work with them for about 3 years now.
Okay, so even in the past 3 years, how have you noticed the numbers? Have they increased? Volunteers, youth?
I think so. I've noticed more people coming on recently just because I've done more events. So when I started, I was really just doing our fundraising for our golf tournament and our Santa Claus parade, but now as I'm doing more tabletops, I'm seeing more of the volunteers and more youth volunteers, and I'm seeing our numbers increase.
Okay. Richard, how effective is Crime Stoppers since it came into play?
So Crime Stoppers is effective. You know, since 1985, we've taken over 60,000 anonymous tips from the public, and those tips have helped law enforcement and police take over $80 million in narcotics off the street.
Wow.
They've helped seize 452 firearms and recover over 12 million in stolen property. So the program is effective, it's safe, and it's something that almost anyone can provide information to Crime Stoppers either through our 1-800-222-8477 number or online, anonymously and safe.
Okay, so that's the best places then to go to if you're to submit a tip?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what exactly are people, when people are submitting tips, I mean, what kind of tips are you looking for exactly?
Well, in the coming months, so as of February 1st, we've announced an initiative to increase the tip reward. We do offer a cash reward on any crime up to $2,000. For the next 90 days, our board has approved a full maximum $2,000 tip for any information that leads to the arrest or the seizure of a crime gun, so a firearm that may be taken off the street.
Okay, very impressive. Okay, all right, Elizabeth, thank you for everything that you're doing with our youth in the community, of course, as a youth advisor with Crime Stoppers, and for all the great work that you're doing, Richard McMullen, as the president. CrimeStoppers.ca, best place to go to.
Absolutely.
All right, we thank you very much for being here as always.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And coming up right here on Daytime on Rogers TV, we have much more, including we're going to find out exactly what Zonta is all about. Been around for a while, but if in case you don't know what it is, well, you'll know in moments right here on Daytime.